Looks like Joe Biden is refilling the swamp. This is going to look a lot like Obama 2.0, but we shouldn't expect anything new from a career politician that's done nothing new in almost 5 decades. Thank you for listening to The Independent Paradox. If you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and most importantly, please share. And please feel free to comment. Open discussion is always welcome here. Let's take a look at 6 of the nominations and appointments Joe Biden is making for his cabinet so far. There's going to be a lot of familiar names. All of them, they also know each other pretty well. So at least there should be some good chemistry, and they won't have to worry about talking about anything new. It's just going to be the same names sitting in different chairs. Alejandro Mayorkas. He's been nominated to serve as the Secretary of Homeland Security. Now, before, he has served as Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, as well as Deputy Secretary of the United States Department of Homeland Security. Before that, he had roles that included being appointed by President Clinton as the U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California after a recommendation from Dianne Feinstein. As U.S. Attorney, he was questioned regarding his involvement of the commutation by President Clinton of the sentence of a convicted narcotics trafficker. This was also after the father of that convicted drug kingpin made contributions to Democrat politicians, or multiple politicians, such as the former mayor of Los Angeles, the current California Attorney General, and the majority leader of the California Senate. These politicians then petitioned then President Clinton to commute the sentence. And while serving as the Director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Mayorkas was also repeatedly accused of granting political favors to wealthy foreign investors by fast-tracking their green card approvals. Sounds like we're off to a pretty good start of refilling that swamp. Next, we've got Jake Sullivan. He'll be appointed by Biden to serve as the National Security Advisor. He served as a senior policy advisor to Hillary Clinton during her 2016 presidential campaign. He was also senior advisor during the Iran nuclear negotiations. That one's worked out great. He also worked in the Obama administration as deputy assistant to the president and national security advisor to then Vice President Biden. Other roles have included director of policy planning at the U.S. Department of State, Deputy Chief of Staff to the worst Secretary of State in the history of the U.S., Hillary Clinton, and was policy director during Hillary's 2008 failed presidential campaign. He also worked on the debate team during Barack Obama's presidential campaign. The swamp's just getting fuller. So next, let's move on to Ron Klain. He's going to serve as Joe Biden's White House Chief of Staff. He has served as Chief of Staff to both former Vice Presidents Al Gore and Joe Biden. He was appointed by President Obama to be the White House Chief Ebola Response Coordinator. He has served as Director of the Senate Democratic Leadership Committee. He was involved in both of Bill Clinton's presidential campaigns, served as Associate Counsel to the President under Bill Clinton. He has also been Chief of Staff to Janet Reno. And among other things, he's worked as a lobbyist for Fannie Mae and was also a part of John Kerry's presidential campaign. As you can see here, so far we have the first 3 we've talked about, deep histories with Obama and the Clintons. So let's keep going. Speaking of John Kerry, he's being appointed to Biden's National Security Council as a climate envoy. His political career is much too long and filled with much too controversy to cover all of it here, but needless to say, he too has a history with the Obama-Biden administration. Like Joe Biden, he's had such a long political career. He's been on both sides of so many major issues. Like I said, it's just way too long to talk about here, but there is a long history. Just whatever side he's needed to be on at the time to get a vote or to make whatever deal that he needs to make, mean, you can just ask Israel about him flip-flopping positions. He served as Secretary of State under President Obama, after Hillary Clinton, and represented the U.S. in the signing of the Paris Agreement on climate change, which Biden has already said we're going to be rejoining as soon as he takes office. Now we're going to get to my favorite two nominations, and that's going to be, let's start off with Tony Blinken. He's been chosen as Secretary of State. I'm sure he's going to bring some fresh thinking and new ideas to the State Department, right? Well, no. He also has a long history with both the Clintons and the Obama administration. He's been on the U.S. National Security Council at the White House, staff director of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, worked on the presidential campaign for Biden in 2008. He was on the Obama-Biden transition team. From 2009 to 2013, he served as deputy assistant to President Obama and national security advisor to Vice President Biden. In that position, he was in a role that helped shape U.S. policy on Afghanistan, Pakistan, and was one of the key players in the Iran nuclear program deal. He served as Deputy National Security Advisor under President Obama and then as Deputy Secretary of State from 2015 to 2017. Prior to joining the Biden team in 2020, Tony Blinken co-founded two companies that are set to profit from any certain U.S. national security policies that might, be put in place. And that's West Exec Advisors and Pine Island Capital Partners. And lastly, let's talk about Biden's nomination for the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines. Again, this is Obama administration 2.0. So Ms. Haines held a few different positions with the Obama administration. Prior to that, she was Deputy Chief Counsel for the Senate Democrats on the U.S. Senate Committee of Foreign Relations, which at the time was, of course, chaired by Joe Biden. After that, she worked for the State Department as an assistant legal advisor. In 2010, she served in the White House Council as Deputy Assistant and Counsel to the President for National Security Affairs. In 2013, she became Deputy Director of the CIA. She was the one responsible for preventing any discipline to any of the CIA personnel that were involved with the hacking of U.S. Senate staffers' computers, which those staffers were in the process of writing a report criticizing the CIA's use of torture. Matter of fact, there's a film starring Adam Driver from 2019. I believe it's on Amazon. It's called The Report. You should really, really take a look at that. In 2015, she replaced the previously mentioned Tony Blinken as the Deputy National Security Advisor for President Obama. She was instrumental in the Obama administration's policies for targeted drone killings. And Obama's administration, they've been strongly criticized on the drone policy as failing to meet, international human rights, which, again, she played a significant role in those policies. After her roles in the Obama administration, she has served as a consultant for various businesses that stand to profit from upcoming U.S. national security policies, including West Exec Advisors. Yes, the same West Exec Advisors founded by the previously mentioned Tony Blinken, which that company was founded along with other former Obama administration officials. If some of these appointments, nominations, selections don't scare you, they really should. We are talking about some appointments to the State Department with strong ties to companies that are set to profit from the U.S. getting involved in more conflicts. We're talking about a director of national intelligence that decided it was okay for the CIA to illegally hack into Senate staffers' computers to try to prevent a report criticizing the CIA from being released. These two issues are two of the main things that President Trump put an end to, especially war profiteering. This is what we have to look forward to: more illegal spying and more war. Sounds like we have the beginnings of a great Biden administration or Obama administration. It's all the same thing. All of these people he has named so far have questionable histories within the administrations they've served under. Well, it's all been under the Obama, Biden, Harris, all the same, like I said, all the same administration. So that tells you everything that you need to know. These are people instrumental in the failed foreign policies of the Obama Biden administration. You have a Secretary of State that admits that the Obama administration failed in Syria, and he was a part of that administration. I don't know what to say other than how can we expect anything over the next 4 years that's going to be any better than the 8 years of failed foreign policy under President Obama? You have the liberal media going crazy over this so-called Biden A-team or dream team. This so-called dream team, they have a lot of experience with each other and with failed policies. War is about to become big business again, and it's going to be our families and our tax dollars that are going to pay the price. Thank you for listening to The Independent Paradox. If you like what you've heard, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications.